All right, hey guys, Doc Raj here. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about management of acute musculoskeletal injuries, right? So you have a sprained ankle, you pulled a muscle, you have an acute injury playing sports, or just walking down the street. This is the old school way of thinking here. Price. Everybody knows price, or at least rice, right? And that is it's still taught in many curriculums, PTs, nursing schools, doctors, and it's just conventional knowledge. And conventional knowledge, unfortunately, is something that's hard to get rid of, even when there's a lot of evidence to the contrary. So some of this stuff makes sense. Protect it, maybe rest a little bit, ice, compression, elevation. Pretty standard stuff here, right? However, the British Journal of Sports Medicine has proposed a more comprehensive approach, and one that does not include icing or tons of rest. Because we know that too much rest is detrimental. It might be beneficial for a very short 1 day, maybe 2 days of rest. But after that, it's just detrimental to your progress. Ice will give you a little bit of pain relief, but it actually does nothing to decrease your swelling. If anything, it actually increases your swelling, and then it will also increase your recovery time frame, because ice stops your natural inflammatory cascade that you need for healing. It also causes tissues to be more permeable, right, which will increase the interstitial fluid, aka swelling. And it'll give you a little bit of temporary pain relief, but is it really worth it? So now if we flip that over and we look at the British Journal of Sports Medicine's proposal here, or new standard really, we've got peace and love. Nowhere on there is rest, and nowhere on there is ice, right? So the P, protection, that stays there because it's important when you have damaged tissues, right, to not damage them more. That makes sense. So we'll protect that. We'll not do those activities that cause more pain. We're going to elevate it, because elevating it actually does help with swelling. Now, it's not inflammation that's bad. When we have an inability to evacuate the swelling and it pools, that is bad. Swelling decreases the joint mechanics, or impairs the joint mechanics, it decreases muscle function, and it increases pain. So we want to try to avoid the swelling and get rid of it. If you're swollen, that's kind of your full-time job. Get rid of the swelling. We're not going to get your range, we're not going to get your strength back to full until that swelling is gone. And elevating it above the level of the heart is where we need to go. So if you're hanging out here, oh, my foot's up, it's not above the level of your heart. You need to get it so gravity helps pull it back down. Because when you're standing all day in what we call a dependent position with things pointed down, gravity pulls the swelling down. That's why you can have an injury in your knee and wind up with a swollen ankle, right? Avoid anti-inflammatories. Again, because anti-inflammatories shut down your natural healing cascade. We need that in order to heal, right? If you don't have an inflammatory cascade, you don't have the macrophages coming in, the cells to come in and eat the dead tissue, you don't have the new cells coming in to lay down and repair or regenerate whatever damaged tissue they need to repair or regenerate, and it's going to increase your recovery timeline. Compression. Compression stays in there because, again, we want to avoid that pooling of the swelling. So this can come in, a couple of different forms. It could be a compression garment, a compression stocking, a compression sleeve. If you have a knee that's swelling up, wearing a neoprene compression sleeve can be super helpful. That way there it just adds radial or circumferential compression and prevents pooling. It doesn't allow those tissues to expand and collect the fluid. You could also use an ACE bandage, wrapping from the bottom, the most distal or far away part, up the leg, or far away part of the arm, up the arm. So that way there, when you wrap it, if you overlap the wrap by half, you have progressive resistance that's pushing the fluid up towards your lymph nodes where you can pee it out later on, right? If you're going down, you're just going to wind up with fat fingers or fat toes and then a swollen limb all over again. Doing that throughout the day is good to prevent it from swelling, but if you do have some swelling, you can use more of like a voodoo type band, elastic band, and have some tight, really tight compression for a short period of time, a couple of minutes maybe, and then take it off, and that can really help move things along. Education, knowing what to expect, finding somebody to say, hey, this is what's going on, this is what you should expect. You know, it's going to take this long to heal. We're going to go through these stages of recovery, and then X, Y, and Z will get you back to doing what you're supposed to be doing. Versus thinking that you're going to be better in one day when you're actually looking at maybe a 6-week recovery timeline. If you're expecting to be better in 2 or 3 days, and the reality is it's likely going to take 4 to 6 weeks, then yeah, you need to have some an expectation check there. And then if we come over here, we've got love. It starts off with loading. Loading the tissues is how they get better. Human Body 101 is Wolff's Law. The tissues in the body respond to the stresses that are placed upon them. That means that if you want a bigger muscle, you have to stress that muscle in a way that drives an adaptation, right? So you go to the gym, you work out, you get bigger, you get stronger. If you have a bone spur, right? That's usually because there's something pulling on it. So that, like a tendon. So that bone reacts to that prolonged stress and says, all right, I want to decrease this pulling. I want to build more bone here. We're going to build it out. Pain needs to be a guidance there, right? If you're working with a professional, they might decide to tell you, hey, mild to moderate discomfort's okay as long as it's not increasing and as long as it goes away after the exercise is done, that's fine. Leave that up to them. Don't go to the gym and start pushing through tons of pain. If you have a bunch of pain that's increasing or it sticks around for a day afterwards, that's no good. And again, you're being detrimental. Optimism. You have to maintain an optimistic, I almost said optimal, an optimistic mindset. Super important because your brain is so powerful. Whether you want to believe that or not doesn't matter because it's a fact. If you think that you're not going to get better, and you get depressed, and pity me and life sucks, then it is going to take you a long time to get better. Your brain can actually keep you in pain for a very long time when there's absolutely no need for it. The people that feel that they're in good hands, they know what they're doing, they've been educated well, they've got a good plan, they have realistic expectations, and they're very optimistic, they get better the fastest. It's not a coincidence, guys. Vascularization. Increasing blood flow to the affected area, right? Get on some pain-free cardiovascular exercise and go to town, right? That could be 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Just get the blood flowing. Global circulation increase also helps with our tissue healing, right? And our tissue healing time frames. So being active, again, not just resting, is going to be key. And then exercise, returning to exercise. You're going to get back to full-on exercise and activities of daily living. But again, we just need to let pain be the guidance, and it's very helpful to find a qualified medical professional that understands what you're trying to do, what you want to do, and can help you get back to that. So that's the difference, guys, between peace and love and old school price. So do me a favor, like this video, leave a comment, let us know what you think, share it, tag somebody that needs to see it, and we'll see you next time.